Good evening. This is the video newsletter for buysellshort.com for Thursday, July 23rd. Not a good time to be short in this market. Further upside, we did have a retrace back to that 50-day moving average on the 15-minute chart, and yet again, the market just exploded higher. Uh, the catalyst supposedly today was the housing numbers. Really, those numbers shouldn't be a surprise. We're sort of bottoming out, but we've flipped back into that any news is good news environment, and as such, they'll use any excuse to rally us higher. Right now, that 50-day support on the 15-minute chart is at 89.80. We were actually, let's flip over to the daily chart. We broke the previous highs, the January highs at 9088, very briefly towards the close, and then we had a little bit of a pullback. Goes without saying that the market is overbought here, but it does not mean we can't get even more overbought. The market, uh, this is not the first time we've seen a large rally in July extend into August before, the annual tank that we see every September and October. Plus, we still have a boatload of shorts who are shorting the head and shoulders formation, these expert shorts and bears from a week or so ago down at 8,100 that are now 1,000 points under water. This break up through 9K, as I mentioned in the video a couple of days ago, I said that's what'll be needed to launch the small caps, and boy, did they take off today. We've had big time biotech mania over the last couple of days, just huge percentage moves in the biotech stocks. The under $1 stocks are really starting to catch fire again. This market is a mirror of what we saw back in April and May. And actually, if we go back there, the rally extended after the earnings report. You'll remember back then in March going into April that we had a big move, and then the earnings reports came out and we started seeing big up and down moves off the earnings report. We were down in after hours. Many companies did beat, but Microsoft came out with crappy earnings. Really not a surprise if you ask me. They've got a major Windows release coming up at the end of the year, and it's really no surprise that companies are holding off buying any product right now. I mean, why are people surprised here? Granted, they did see weakness across their markets, but what's Microsoft actually at in after hours? Essentially, the stock gave back its gains over the last couple of days. Big whoop, we had Amazon come out, blow their numbers out of the water. Great guidance. We've got a lot of other stocks announcing guidance. Microsoft could have blown the door off today, and we'd still probably see a retrace tomorrow. You know, it ain't the end of the world. The shorts, if you troll the message boards, are hoping it is because they're bending over and looking for the KY jelly right now. If we look on the Dow 15-minute chart, if we do lose that 89.80 level, our pullback point would be 8,700 now. A couple of hundred points lower, but we've got more earnings reports coming out next week. We've got the summer doldrums, and the break of the January high today is going to have the lemming buy programs come in on any dips, in my opinion. Lemming buy programs, fund managers are pretty much morons. They follow each other around, they play the same crap, and the break of 9088 has them starting to write their programs to buy dips over the next couple of days. Microsoft will likely give them that excuse. We do have, tomorrow is Friday, weekend coming up, so a little profit taking is not to be, is not unexpected, but we should see momentum continue in the small cap stocks. So just because the large caps and the overall market pulls back doesn't mean there's going to be trades. There's going to be lots of trades over the next few days, in my opinion. Let's jump into some stock plays. ASTM, old favorite of ours. Looks very, very nice here. The stem cell stocks look really, really strong. GERN hit a new high today. STEM looks ready to take off. And, over the last, since March actually, ASTM is just, finds support in mid 35s and then runs to 45-cent plus. So break over 40 cents should that set this one free, and we'll be looking for a move to 45-cent plus in the next few days. RSI up through 50. We're about to get a positive MACD cross, and this has been the trigger for a lot of stocks over the last few days. Positive MACD crosses. We've been seeing some very huge spikes just on this, easy to look for chart indicator. So, we're going to go at what works right now. ADX very strong here, and stochastics coming out of the basement. So we should see a nice gain on this one over the next couple of days. DSCO, yes, we were down big on this one. We averaged down, as I mentioned, took our average cost down to the 50s. For a lot of traders, in the chat room anyway, ones who've been talking to me, this is a gain already. They've made it back, and it's, you know, sweet times are here again. Disco dancing times. Stock almost hit its 20-day exponential today. Just a huge move up. I said in the last trading alert that this one was coiling for a big move on the positive MACD cross. Huge volume today, and Biotech Mania, it followed through nicely. Breakout would be a close over 60 cents and then, 70 cents possibly as an upside on this one. But the chart looks pretty good. RSI coming out of the basement. Positive MACD cross. Stochastics, we broke that downtrend line, and unbalanced volume, you can see we're finally seeing some nice buying come into this one. NLST, we've played this one quite a few times. Cash rich semiconductor play. Has a 98 cents in cash. Looks ready to break out here with penny stock momentum. This one took off big the last couple of times we've had penny stock madness. This one is going to have a positive MACD cross tomorrow. We've got a positive ADX cross. We've got stochastics breaking up through 50. And the play here, Apple had a very good earnings report. These guys are pretty involved with Apple notebooks. I didn't realize that their chips are used in a lot of Apple Macs. So, that's the angle on this one here. And with the chart, target moved to 45 to 50 cents in the near term. NEXM was a trading alert this morning at 18 cents, traded as high as 22.5 cents. Love the bottomed out chart here. Very nice volume coming into this one. This one's also going to get a positive MACD cross tomorrow. We've got stochastics in the basement, and Biotech Mania again. Last time we tagged this one, it ended up running from 13 cents to 52 cents over the course of a couple of weeks. So right now, all we're looking for is a move to 27 to 30 cents on this one. Isn't asking too much, especially given what LJPC did in after hours trading today. LJPC was a trading alert right before the close in the chat room today at 17.5 to 18 cents. They issued an SEC filing saying that they'd settle with BMRN. And the reason this is moving right now, it's actually hit 30 cents in after hours, so we're already up, 75% on this one already. These guys had a merger agreement that they were about to sign before this lawsuit hit back here. And now that they've settled the lawsuit, potential for another merger goes back on the table. And with Biotech Mania hitting right now, we could really see this one motor tomorrow. Not saying go ahead and chase it, but pays to be in the chat room is all I'm going to say. ONT, we've been pretty patient with this one. It looked ready to bust out last week. Ended up retesting its 38 cent support. Again, this one looks very ready for a nice move. Breakout is 42.5 cents. All the indicators are nicely oversold. And when this symmetrical triangle formation breaks out here, we're going to see a very nice move in the upside here. XOMA, this is another one that's got another biotech that's got a very nice symmetrical triangle formation here. 80 cents should launch this one. This one traded at $1 after hours last week. It's consolidated nicely, and we're about to get a positive MACD cross here and a break up through 50 on RSI. That should launch this one. Especially, again, I hate to repeat this, but Biotech Mania is here. Pay attention. This is the exact same kind of stocks that led this last rally. We saw small cap biotechs just take off left and right. GMBT, we got a 25% gain out of this one. Kind of disappointing that it didn't follow through, but it's still holding pretty good support here over 60 cents, and we could see a secondary wave on this one. It's the reason you book gains whenever these pop. At least take some off the table and then sit and wait for the secondary wave to hit. And actually, last but not least, LGPC is just taking off in after hours. I'm watching it right now trade 31 cents in after hours. This will probably launch NEXM tomorrow. Would not be surprised if this one doesn't play catch up tomorrow with La Jolla Pharmaceuticals. We could see this one really explode to the upside. So That's it for the video. We might see a pullback in the large caps tomorrow. Big whoop. Small caps should catch fire if this market is legit. See you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Good night.